So we're kind of getting the grip idea and the spin idea. And in order to make any of those things work, we have to start from a good ready position. You gotta find what it is. And basically what it is, it's an athletic stance that is going to allow you to get into movement very quickly because you have a good solid springy base underneath you. Your feet are ready to go, your ankles, your knees, and your hips are ready to go. So it's a very specific stance. What we're looking for always in this game is a straight back and bent knees, right? We don't get smaller in a ready position like this. I see this all the time. This is not good. I think you can see my feet. We don't want them too close together because now I have no base to push off of, right? I need a nice wide base in my ready position, right? A little wider than my shoulders. And I don't want to make myself too small by crunching down too low because I want my opponents to see me. I want them to be afraid that they can't get the ball by me. So I'm always going to appear very big in my ready position, wide stance, and you notice that my toes are coming straight forward. That's really important. The second your toes go out at all, you can see that a little bit? The second they go out, this is what happens when you bend your knees. Now I just look bad, right? My weight's set back on my heels. I couldn't lean forward if I wanted to. I'm going to feel like I'm going to topple over just because my toes are headed out, okay? If I take my feet like this and all of a sudden I put my toes straight forward, maybe in just a tiny, tiny bit, now all of a sudden I look like an athlete. I look like I'm ready to move, right? Okay? That's really critical. Straight back. The bend comes from the hips, the knees, and your ankles. Don't forget about your ankles. You can't do anything with your hips until your ankles move. And we want to get in that nice position. The other thing critical for this is where are your hands? First we have the correct grip, right? But now we're going to use our left hand to help support the racket head. Okay? So, I've got my grip. I've even got my wrist laid back here a little bit. And I'm going to be looking right over the tip of the racket. You notice that there's a really nice buffer here between my hands and my body. It's a big space because what I want is I want to keep the ball out away from me all the time. Right? Here's this big space, and when I set my racket back, I want this buffer between my hand and my body to be large. I'm going to keep the ball out away from me. The second it gets in here and crowded, the more I'm going to feel attacked. Right? We always want to be going after volleys. So our biggies here are hands out. Notice my left hand is high on the throat. I'm a one-handed backhand hitter. You two-handers, you may want to have your hand down here a little bit lower. But my hands are away from my body. I'm looking over the tip of the racket. The racket is not to the left. If you see somebody standing like this, because they're really comfy, this is the way our arm hangs, right? My arm hangs like this. So I have to make an effort with my left hand to bring the racket tip forward. If you see somebody standing like this, just hit to their forehand. They're going to have to go like this to get to the ball. You know how much time that takes? A lot of time. Too much time, okay? If you're right in the center, I kind of think about it as like your hands in the center of a clock face. I'm right in the middle of everything. I'm equal distance from the high volley to a low backhand volley, to a high backhand volley, to a low forehand volley. I'm all the same distance if my hands are in the center. As soon as my hands, I start getting real comfy, tucked in here and across my body, what I'm going to do pretty well is maybe hit a backhand volley or a ball at my body, but I'm not going to hit anything else very well because it's all so far away. And I don't know about you, but I want to hit forehand volleys. I love hitting forehand volleys, especially when they're right here, right? So I'm going to get myself all ready here at the net, right? I'm too close, by the way, right now. I want you to know that I shouldn't be standing this close to the net. But here I am, I'm going to be all ready, and I'm going to be ready to spring for the ball because it's feet first, racket second, okay? If you are not ready to spring, you are not going to volley well. So let's get this ready position really comfortable, really stable, and really powerful for your first move to the ball. So let's get on to the poach, and that's primarily a term that we use in doubles. Okay, this is the one-step push-off. Notice the ball is coming to my right. I set my racket face to the right. My weight is loaded on my right leg at the same time. And here we go. And I'm pushing across, catching my weight with my left leg. This whole idea of the one-step push-off, the one-distance push-off, is so critical. So we got to, when I'm at the net and I'm playing doubles, I know all I'm doing is I'm standing there going, come on, give me the ball. I want the ball. I want them to hit it in my direction, and I'm going to make them know that I'm there and ready to take care of them. All right, so I'm going to get ready to move diagonally forward. Remember we had those markers with the serve masters out on a V pattern? We're always going to be moving on a V pattern for volleying and for any movement on the court for that matter, to be able to cut off angles. I know you've heard that term. So I'm going to show you from the backside what this poach looks like, and you're going to try and take it from there. Here we go. Notice that you travel a long distance in just one stride. So you're off the right leg, reaching, and notice how I spill over that a little bit. After you land on your left foot, after it comes across, watch, land on my left foot, and I'm catching my weight then on my right foot to rebalance. Okay, so notice here, this is moving on a diagonal. I put those barriers up. That's what I was referring to before. And depending on where my feeder, who's not very accurate, feeds the ball, I'm still pushing off my right leg onto my left every time for the ball. And if it's out to my right, I'm moving more diagonally along those markers on the right. And so this is going to apply greatly when you're poaching from the ad court with your forehand in the middle. And we want the ball to end up going in between the two players, the one at the net and the one at the baseline. Right there, I'm giving her instructions. Okay, but you get the idea here. I'm just never have the opportunity to go very far because she can't seem to get the ball out wide enough for me to take a big leap. That was a bigger leap, but you notice I'm just closing in on every ball. It's pretty easy. That was a better one, right?